Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are fine. So I am here again with the next part of our video, that is part 15. So today we are going to discuss about different chemical properties of amines. Amines means three types of amines: primary, secondary and tertiary. So let's come to the book. So first we will discuss about alkylation reaction of amines. So the first reaction we are looking into is alkylation reaction. That means what? Here we will see the reaction of primary, secondary and tertiary amines with alkyl chlorides. So the first example is number 1. Suppose we have taken a primary amine, that is ethyl amine, C2H5, NH2. Clear? Now here we are adding one alkyl chloride, that is C2H5I. Okay, ethyl iodide I am going to add here. So now what will happen here now? Now one hydrogen from NH2 and iodine I from C2H5I, they will be removed out as HI. Okay, minus HI. So what will happen here? So in place of hydrogen, the C2H5 group will be added. So the product will look like this. So in place of one hydrogen, initially there was a hydrogen, in place of it this C2H5 will be added. Okay, so initially it was a primary amine or a 1 degree amine. So from here we are getting a 2 degree amine or secondary amine, because the nitrogen is added with two alkyl groups or two carbon atoms on both sides of it. Next, if you add another molecule of ethyl iodide here, so next what will happen? The rest hydrogen, the hydrogen that will again be removed out with this iodide, and in place of the hydrogen this C2H5 group will be added. So here it will look like this. That means now the nitrogen is added with three alkyl groups on both sides. So it is a 3 degree amine or tertiary amine. So if you continue with the addition of ethyl iodide again with it, now the C2H5I will be added to the nitrogen, making a tetraalkyl compound which will have 4 ethyl groups on each and every side of it. Okay, so as the nitrogen is having 4 bonds, okay, which is beyond its valency, because the valency of nitrogen is 4, that's why here there will be a positive charge on it, and because of this the I minus will also be present here, just to make this total compound neutral. So here we are getting tetraethyl ammonium iodide. Tetra means what? 4. Tetraethyl ammonium iodide. Okay, so from 1 degree we can get 2 degree, we can get from there 3 degree, and from 3 degree we can get 4 degree also. So for 2 degree amine we have to start from here. Okay, for 2 degree amine you have to think from here. That means same type of reaction. This addition of alkyl iodide, this type of reaction is generally performed whenever we want to add or to increase the number of carbon atoms. Okay, whenever we want to upgrade the number of carbon atoms. So if you want to start from 2 degree, then you have to start from here, from 2 degree to 3 degree, from 3 degree to 4 degree. If you want to start from 3 degree, that means if you want to start from tertiary alkyl, then you have to start from here, okay. So 3 degree compound can also form this 4 degree compound. So starting from anywhere, whether it is 1 degree, 2 degree or 3 degree, we can add carbons by this way, okay. So whatever number of carbon you want to add here, you could add it in this process, okay. So next type of reaction, okay. So next type of reaction is that same kind of process, that is acetylation, okay. Acetylation means addition of acetyl compound like CH3CO or addition of benzyl compound. Just see, giving one example. First one is acetylation. Okay, acetylation. So here if you want to do this type of reaction, then we can add these two reagents. One is acetyl chloride CH3COCl or acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride has the formula CH3, C double bond oxygen. In the middle there will be oxygen, and on the other side there will be the same group, that is COCH3. So whenever we want to add acetyl group in an amine compound, we can add these two compounds, okay. So let's see one example. C2H5 NH2, here I am writing it in this way, NHH, plus, suppose I am adding this compound here, Cl CO CH3, okay, Cl CO CH3. So now one HCl will be eliminated from here, and this CO group will be added directly with the NH group, so making this compound N-ethyl acetamide. CH3CO NH2. If there was NH2, then this compound is known as acetamide, okay. So this type of compound is known as acetamide, and as alkyl group is added with the nitrogen, so the name is N-ethyl acetamide, okay. So the same type of reaction will also happen in case of acetic anhydride also, okay. This bond will be broken, and this carbon, that is COCH3, this positively charged carbon will be added with the NH group, making this same type of compound NHCOCH3, and from here acetic acid CH3COOH will be eliminated out when you are going to do the same reaction with or by using acetic anhydride, okay. So now this was acetylation. The same type of mechanism we can see for benzoylation reaction. Okay, benzoylation. So what is the difference between acetylation and benzoylation? Acetylation means addition of CH3CO compound and CH3CO group, and benzoylation means addition of this group C6H5CO, benzoyl. So for this purpose we have to add here benzoyl chloride. So in place of CH3 there will be only C6H5. Now the same mechanism will happen here also. HCl will be eliminated out as minus HCl, and there will be the addition of CO C6H5 directly with the NH. So this type of compound has the name N-ethyl benzamide because C6H5CONH2 compound is known as benzamide. So this compound has the name N-ethyl benzamide. Clear? Next type of reaction is the carbylamine reaction. Carbylamine reaction. This example already I have discussed earlier when I have taught you that isocyanate. Okay. So carbylamine reaction is only seen in case of primary amines and not by secondary or tertiary amines. Okay. So whether it is aromatic or whether it is aliphatic, if it is a primary amine, then it will show the carbylamine reaction. So what will happen here? So if we take a primary amine, just example, that is methylamine, CH3NH2 or methanamine, and if you treat it with chloroform in presence of KOH, okay, that means alkaline solution of chloroform, then by creating these reagents we will get a substance which is having a very pungent odor or a very pungent smell. Okay, and that compound is known as isocyanide. That will be having the formula CH3NC. That means from methylamine we will be getting this compound, that is CH3NC, methyl isocyanide. It is also called carbylamine, methyl carbylamine. Okay, methyl carbylamine. And another products will be 3KCl plus 3H2O. So this will be the another products. So this is a reaction by which we can identify the primary amine, because only the primary amine could give this test and secondary amines or tertiary amines do not respond to this test. Okay, as well as this test could be observed in case of aromatic amine like aniline, that we will see in case of aniline. Now the last topic of today is difference between primary, secondary and tertiary amines. Okay, difference between primary, secondary and tertiary amines. So first, so here we could use different or various type of reagents. So first I am showing the reagent, that is Hinsberg reagent. Hinsberg reagent. What is Hinsberg reagent? Hinsberg reagent is the mixture of benzene sulfonil chloride, that is having the formula C6H5SO2Cl, benzene sulfonil chloride. Okay, so a mixture of benzene sulfonil chloride and potassium hydroxide, that means alkaline solution of benzene sulfonil chloride, is known as Hinsberg reagent. So if we add this reagent in case of a primary amine, so what will happen here? I am just showing it here. Primary amine means CH3NH2. So I am writing it in this way, CH3NH2. Okay, now one hydrogen and one chlorine, that will be removed out as HCl. So this group will be directly attached with this, making this compound. Clear? Now as the solution is alkaline here, that means it contains potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide. So now the only one hydrogen that is still attached with the nitrogen, that will be removed by the sodium or the potassium ion, and that's why the salt we are getting finally, that is this hydrogen and this OH, it will be removed out as H2O, and this potassium will be added here. So we are getting a potassium salt of this compound. So as it is making a salt with potassium hydroxide, so this compound, it will get dissolved in the alkaline solution. So when we are creating the primary amine with this compound, finally we will get a clear solution, because the salt that will obtained at the final step, it will get dissolved in the solution. So that is the case for the primary amine. Now the secondary amine. In case of secondary amine, there will be two ethyl groups, right? There will be two ethyl groups and only one hydrogen. So the first step will be same here, because we are getting this compound. We are getting this compound, that is one HCl will be released, and this nitrogen, it will be added directly with the CO2. But here just observe that there is no nitrogen attached directly here in the second step. Okay, here in this product, no nitrogen is here present with the, no hydrogen is here present with the nitrogen, and for this reason this compound, it will not react with alkaline solution and it will not get dissolved in the alkaline solution. So we will get a precipitate here. So the solution where we will get finally a precipitate is the secondary. Okay, and the solution which will be clear after the second step, okay, that is primary. And in case of tertiary, what we will see? In case of tertiary, there is no hydrogen attached with the nitrogen. Only three alkyl groups are attached here. So no elimination reaction will take place. That means the compound will do not react with the benzene sulfonic fluoride, and we will see no change in the compound, in the amine compound. So that means that is tertiary. Okay, so this is the difference between them by using Hinsberg reagent. Next, by using sodium nitrite and HCl, that means NaNO2 plus HCl, this mixture we have to use. This is the second point of difference between them. Okay, a mixture of NaNO2 and HCl which will make nitrous acid, that is HNO2. Okay, as HNO2 is not so very stable, so always we have to use a mixture of sodium nitrite and hydrochloric acid to get nitrous acid. So now what will be the reaction for primary, secondary and tertiary? Just we will see here one by one. First, C2H5 NH2, that means a primary amine we are taking here, okay, plus HNO2. So whenever a primary amine reacts with nitrous acid, it will form an alcohol. Okay, it will form an alcohol. That means this NH2 group, it will be changed into an alcoholic group OH, plus nitrogen gas will be released. That is the important point for this reaction, plus water. So whenever we are reacting the primary amine with nitrous acid, we are getting an alcohol along with the evolution of nitrogen gas. Clear? Now we are taking secondary amine, that is C2H5 whole 2NH plus HNO2. So what will happen here? So here we are writing HNO2 in this form to make this reaction clear, that is HO N double bond oxygen. Okay, this is the structure of nitrous acid. So what will happen here? This OH group, it will be removed out with this hydrogen, okay, making the compound, that is C2H5 whole 2 N single bond N double bond oxygen. So this nitroso compound, okay, this group is known as nitroso. So this nitroso compound, which is a yellow colored oily substance, that we will get after the completion of the secondary amine, after the completion of the reaction of secondary amine with the nitrous acid. So for the primary amine, we are getting alcohol along with nitrogen. For the secondary amine, we are getting only the nitroso compound, which is yellow colored and oily in nature. We are getting no nitrogen here. And if we are doing the same reaction in case of, I'm writing here, if we are doing the same reaction in case of a tertiary compound, that is having C2H5 whole 3N plus HNO2. So there will be only a addition compound. Sorry, HNO2. There will be only a addition compound which will make this product C2H5 whole 3N dot HNO2. Okay, and no nitrogen gas will be evolved in this state. So by this process we could differentiate between primary, secondary and tertiary amines. So the time is over for today. So in our next class we will see several examples of conversions for the amines which are very important for your exam. Okay, so I think today's class is clear for you all. So we will meet in our next class. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day.